And testing. This is number 8. Okay. I did set something up earlier 7 times, and I finally got 2 up. And one that was completely out of sound. The other one had voice and no picture. So this is the 7th time I'm doing it. I'm congratulating Nene of Nene's Prepping Kitchen. Okay, congrats to Nene's Prepping Kitchen for doing the biscuit recipe. This is why Uncle Alan's retiring. Let you all nice young people do stuff. It's excuse me, getting old. Hopefully the sound's coming through. Uh, just one of those days, folks. It's like I am just tired. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, go back to history. Okay, let's try this again. And I gotta make sure that's Nene's Prepping Kitchen. I cannot use the sound because that was one of the problems they had because it violates copyright agreement. So we're watching Nene, okay? And that's Nene right there. And she's going to make my cracker recipe, which is listed down below. Okay? Making the cracker is really easy. There's no problem. But sometimes people, I gotta make sure my mic's still on. Check the settings. Because this is the 8th, excuse me, almost barfed. This is the 8th time I've been working on this system. Okay? So let's move it up a little bit. Okay, she has all the ingredients. It's very simple. Okay? Now in the water it has a pinch of salt. Alright, baking's fun. I do it all the time. It's fairly easy. It's not as hard. It's not rocket science. Now, the only problem is I use a bread machine. So the bread machine does a better mixing job than Nene's has. But you can add small amounts of water. Okay? Because I use a bread machine, that's all the water I use. So it's fairly fast and fairly efficient. But sometimes it needs more water to make the dough. So let's skip that part. Come on. Okay. I'm not high tech yet like a lot of you young people out there. Okay, and she should mold it into a loaf or form. Now that is kind of incomplete. I would have taken it out of the thing, put it on the table, roll it some more, and put it back in the bowl. Okay, it's going to rise weird. Okay, I would have taken it out of the bowl, put it on the table, beat it with the rolling pin, roll it, fold it, mold it, or put another 20 minutes in the bread machine and it'll come out to a perfect loaf. Not mixed well, but it's a pretty good start. Now the other thing is, she didn't leave it in the bowl. She plopped it on the table. It's supposed to be rested in a bowl. Now resting on the table is good, but you get an uneven rest rate. She did put a towel over it. I do recommend a moist, not wet, moist towel over the bowl. Yeah, that's alright if you put it like that. And then we're going to skip that part. And whoops, went too far. Okay, she's finished rising it. Okay, please check out her channel and subscribe. Okay, she did form it out. That does not look like 3/8 of an inch thick. Alright, and if you kind of look at it carefully, I tell people use 7 by 7 inch square. Cut out a paper pattern, it's fairly easy. 7 inch by 7. Now she's using a fork. Okay, let's stop it right there. I recommend using a chopstick. Bigger the hole, the easier it is to break apart the cracker. So you poke big holes in it all the way through. I do 18 at a time. Go straight and go across. That's 10 to the bottom, 8 across. And if you're using a paper pattern, okay, you make a 7 by 7 inch by 7 inch pattern. You could poke holes in it and you just put it over and just fill in the holes. That's fairly easy. This is the 8th time I was explaining it. Okay, let's get back to this. Oops. And there she goes. It's poking fun. Let's skip a little bit. Okay, now we're making the glaze. The only problem is it isn't done yet. You haven't baked the cracker yet. And use honey. I prefer using dark organic honey. And she's eyeballing it, so it's about a teaspoon or 2. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. It pours better if you soak it in hot water first. Okay, let's go there, and then she will add, and here comes the soy sauce. I prefer using Japanese shoyu. It's a little bit more astringent. And you just need enough to darken it. That should be fine right there. But sometimes people tend to add more soy sauce. Remember, folks, more soy sauce you add, you're adding more, you're shortening the life of the material. Okay? This is not a chicken. You do not bake it, glaze it, and bake it. This is a pastry or a cracker. And we'll watch her do this. Okay? This is a mistake. You're supposed to do it after 40 minutes of baking. So you have a contact surface that'll glaze solid so it lasts for 2 years. This way, the material, the raw dough, absorbs the material so it'll last 6 months. It tastes better. It is, a lot better flavor than your regular hardtack. It will last about 6 months, 2 months in its present form. So we're going to speed it up. And remember, folks, it's honey and shoyu, so it's sticky as hell. Okay, and she rolled it out again. And she put it on parchment paper. Now, this is sticky as hell. It's covered in soy sauce and sugar. So, yeah, it will naturally stick onto the parchment paper. If it wasn't glazed, it doesn't stick. Okay, let's move it back. But it's a very good first try Nene. Let's give a big hand for Nene. Please check out her channel and subscribe. And I'm trying to do this one again. And my family knows me because once I start stuff, I don't give up. If I say I'm going to make $1 million, I'll make $1 million. If I told my friends I'm going to make $1 billion, I'll make $1 billion. Nothing is going to stop Uncle Al or go insane and crazy. And a lot of my friends look at me, you're already there. Okay, now, here's the finished product. Alright, it looks nice. It's suitable. It's great, but it won't store long because it's starting to stick to the paper. Okay? And they probably just got out of the oven. And she only let it cool for about 10 minutes. Okay? When you're doing this, we'll stop it right there. Now, in its present form, it's soft enough to be eaten by people. Okay? And let me click that. That's the only other mistake she made, serious mistake. But once you take it out after 40 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, you dip, glaze the cracker, put it on a wire rack, put it on your cookie sheet, take off the parchment paper, put it on the cookie sheet, and then you put the crackers. So this will hold 4 7x7, okay? 7x7 onto this, and then I let it into the oven. I have 4 of these things, so on cookie sheets it goes in. It dries until the oven is cool, which is about an hour and a half. So it's still 350 degrees in that oven, and the cracker is resting in there, and it has the glaze and it's cooling. Without the glaze, same effect. Okay? By the end, it's going to be hard. Not brittle, not like a teeth cracker, but it will be hard enough to withstand storage. By itself, without the glaze and the baking process, an hour and a half, the cooling process in a hot oven from 350 degrees down to 120 degrees takes about an hour and a half. So you put it in the bottom shelf of the oven. As the heat dissipates, hour and a half, the glaze will stick to the cracker. That will last you 2 years. Okay? The heat is the big factor. Okay? If you do it before you bake it, the cracker will absorb it, and it cuts even further down your shelf life on it. So it won't last 5 to 2 years. 5 years without the glaze. With the glaze, 2 years. It'll run about 6 months, and then that'll be it. Okay? Simple as pie. This has been a really good test. You can make it. You just follow the recipe. Again, it'll be in the description below. I have to make some final adjustment from the original one because people do their own thing, and doing your own thing sometimes doesn't work out. Okay. Now, about 2 months ago, Nene and Danger Dan, congrats to Nene on the Nene's Prepping Kitchen. Second person did the Iron Ration challenge. Okay, Iron Ration for SHTF challenge. No MREs, no lifeboat rations, lifeboat bars, no survival tabs, no survival shakes, no freeze dry, no ramen. Must have in the title, what is your iron ration for SHTF? If you put down what is your ration, what is your iron ration for SHTF, it comes up. We have a lot of weird other stuff. Okay? It should contain no gear, no gadgets, food only. Off the shelf. Homemade or canned, ready to eat. Any kind of tote, box, or foot locker so you can put this stuff in. Alright, it's not hard, it's not rocket science. Must have 2 references, either TV or movies, historical events, you can look it up in the Bible, literature as in books, The Last Babylon, and a few other things, enough food for one person or 4 people for 24 hours or 48 hours. It must be a morale booster and provide energy. Open to all prepping, survival, gardening, homesteading, cooking channels. Only 2 people again responded. It's better than the one before, but gee. Okay? Simple. And making the cracker is simple. I like simple things. Let me double check. Power's going. Everything's working out fine. So I'll see you folks later. I'll be seeing you. And again, before you do anything, try out the food. If you like it, go eat it. If you store what you like to eat, it's better for you. A lot of people get this one-track mind. I love people. Okay, I do curse because, and I don't trust promotional ads. You know, if your product says it removes it and then it gives kind of iffy answer, I will go hunt it down and find out for myself. Okay, folks, I'll be seeing you. You have a nice day. Try to do something nice for your fellow persons and stuff. I just learned that if I want AdSense to work, it has to be 8 minutes. No, it's right here. 8 minutes for AdSense cash. Shorts and others under 8 minutes will not be paid. That's always wonderful to see that in the morning. Okay, folks, I'll catch you later. Next video we're going to talk about is going to be about money making. Bye now.